Today, we're breaking down Ty Simpson's All-22 tape and evaluating his NFL projection. We'll start with the mental side of his game and then look at how he creates when plays break down and finish with the arm talent. All right, let's start with eye manipulation and processing. Here on this play on the surface against Georgia, looks like a simple play action, pitch and catch onto an open dig route in the middle of the field. But wait, let's rewind the tape, roll it back, and look at the simple nuances Ty Simpson does here. All right, so you look, head to the left. He's going to freeze that linebacker, number 19. He's going to hold him just long enough. And as you can see, the Alabama receiver behind him coming up on the dig route to the middle of the field, across the field. Simpson actually creates this throwing window with his eye manipulation and discipline to create this easy pitch and catch. NFL teams are going to love this on tape, and this is something they'll be looking for. This is a big plus for him. All right, here's another strong example of eye manipulation and processing. Simpson's going to open his, you can see open looking to the right of the screen, as we'll pause it here. Looks to the right of the screen. This is going to actually develop later on where the safety is going to be late getting over and allows enough time to create a one-on-one explosive downfield. Looks to the left, then fires this ball downfield, probably about 50, 55 air yards, which is impressive. And as you can see, stop the tape, holds the safety long enough from that initial looking to the right, holds him. The safety's late, so it creates a one-on-one explosive matchup downfield, and it's a 50-50 ball, and Bama gets that, and it creates a 50, 60-yard downfield play. But look here, also impressive, as we roll the tape, he didn't have a lot of room to throw the ball. He couldn't step into it. So again, shows arm talent, not only eye manipulation, but the arm talent in this play. So it's impressive. Let's look at it one more time. Not a lot of room to throw. Looks to the right of the screen to the left, creates the one-on-one explosive, big play. Again, another thing NFL teams are going to do. All right, now the processing side of his game, winning with his eyes, and that's understanding coverage. Now let's see what happens when the play doesn't go as planned. He projects to me as an underrated playmaker. He's not an elite athlete, but displays enough functional mobility and strong playmaking instincts that I like on film. I think it's one of the underrated parts of his game. All right, roll the tape on this rep. You can see feels the backside pressure. I like the presence. Scrambles to the outside and stop. Here's what's really good. He's able to reset his base, eyes always looking downfield, front foot, front shoulder, arm all aligned. It allows him to make an accurate throw downfield on the move. That's real impressive. Off-script stuff is what separates average NFL quarterbacks to good ones, and he has a couple of these. I love how his eyes are always downfield, lines up his base, resets his mechanics, and allows him to deliver a strike with accuracy downfield for a chunk play. Love this play from him. Let's look at it one more time. Again, it's all three things. Feels the pressure, pocket presence, mechanics to reset, delivers a strike for a big chunk play. Love it. Okay, here's another example of his ability to create in the move. This one shows a well-timed fake toss in the end zone here, in the red zone. As you can see, two things happen. First, great job, be able to elude a defender. Again, very underrated part of his game. Stick his foot down and get around the defender. But that's not all. Eyes downfield, stop the tape. Again, front foot, front shoulder, arm aligned, allows him to make a wide open touchdown pass easy because the accuracy of the base mechanics reset. Let's look at it again. Eludes the defender, impressive, and accurate throw for an easy pitch and catch touchdown. Again, looks easy, but he had to do two things: elude the defender and reset his mechanics here, as we can see, to line up to make an accurate throw. Really good stuff from Ty Simpson. All right, so all the processing and playmaking only works if the arm talent can support. And this is where Simpson answers that question. As I watched this play, this was probably one of my favorite throws I watched from Ty Simpson. I had to rewind it like 10 times. So let's go ahead and roll it. As you can see first here, drop on the top of his drop, looks down the seam, sees a tight end, doesn't like what he sees. He thinks he can get more out of this play, so scans the rest of the field, knows he's got this corner around the bottom of your screen, and what a throw. Look at this throw. The difficulty, the air yard distance from his point to the sideline with enough velocity and angle and layering it. Again, arm talent is just not about velocity. It's also about being able to get the ball with a quick release and angle balls and layer balls, and he does a great job. One of the most impressive throws. I'm sure NFL teams will be looking at this throw, particularly in highlighting it for Ty Simpson. All right, so let's move on to another classic example here of arm talent here. This is against a cover two, displays a quick release here, and he's got to drop this in a bucket. All right, you see there's two defenders there, an underneath and a safety up top. Let's roll it back. Now, as you look at this, pause it. You got the corner underneath and the safety over top. He's got to split those, drop it in a bucket, and he does. He layers this throw. Again, arm talent is not just velocity. Layers it, and it leads to a touchdown throw. This is very impressive for Ty Simpson. But look at the wrist. Look how quickly he gets out of this ball out of his hand. Bring it back. Look how quickly the ball just flick of a wrist. We talk about this with the Dolphins' Quinn Ewers. This is part of arm talent, and he has that. He's got enough velocity on it. There's enough arm talent I've seen on film he generates. All right, so now with the positives on the table, it's important to flip the tape and look at where the game still needs refinement. All right, so this here is against a basic cover two coverage. All right, and sometimes Ty Simpson doesn't trust his eyes and is late on making a throw. And here's a classic example. Again, versus a basic cover two, you see the underneath defender is pinching down, squatting down on the tight end underneath. So you don't got to worry about him. He's going to be in the flat. Now you have the safety up top who's got to get over. So you have a short window here on a corner route that the receiver is going to run to get this ball. Let's roll it and see what happens. It should have been gone already. It's late and the window closes. In the NFL, that window is going to be even shorter with guys that are bigger, stronger, and faster. He's got to trust his eyes, trust what he sees, use his accuracy, get that ball out much quicker, or it'll close in the NFL even stronger. All right, here's another play. Under pressure is where his poorest decisions tend to show up. And this rep reflects that. Okay, this is off a play action rollout. And you can see number 8, athletic Georgia defender is screaming down in front of him. So he sees the player in front of him. It's not behind him. And stop it right here. And he decides to throw this ball anyways. And you can see you have a defender in front of the receiver. This on the move, this ball is going to be picked off 99% of the time, incompleted 100% of the time. Luckily for him, this wasn't intercepted. And you see a lot of this on film sometimes for him, even though his interceptions number was low. This right here, he's got to put it in his back pocket, throw it away, live for another down in the NFL. You can't take these risks. Just throw it to the sideline and move on. All right, so now those are the negative plays. Let's transition here to the scouting report. All right, this is something with Ty is, we've gone through the All-22 and talked about both the positives and the concerns on tape. Let's tie everything together here. When you stack the full body of work, Ty Simpson stands out as one of the more intriguing quarterback evaluations in this draft class. Processing, the eye manipulation, and ability to create outside of structure consistently shows up on tape. He's only a one-year starter, but he plays with poise, understands coverage leverage, and shows strong pre- and post-snap awareness and intelligence. Arm strength won't be a limiting factor like we talked on in the film. While he's not an elite thrower, he has more than enough arm talent to execute an NFL offense and able to generate velocity, layer throws, and win in the intermediate areas where he's actually one of the most productive quarterbacks in this draft. He also brings, we talked about, underrated playmaking ability, extends his plays while keeping his eyes downfield. There are concerns, however. Limited experience, decision-making under pressure, inconsistent pushing the ball vertically shows up at times, but in a thin quarterback class, the upside is real. On my board, Simpson grades in that 25 to 40 range and profiles as a late first round to early second round developmental quarterback. It wouldn't be surprising to see a team take a calculated swing earlier. In the right system, one built on West Coast principles, quick game timing, and heavy play action, Simpson has a legitimate path to outplaying his draft slot and developing into an NFL reliable star. Now, from a Dolphins perspective, would I take Ty Simpson at number 11? No, not at that spot. But if Miami were able to trade back into the 20s, pick up additional assets, that's where the conversation becomes much more reasonable. This is a thin quarterback class, as I mentioned, and because of that, his value could be pushed up the board. I can absolutely see this front office liking Simpson and doing their homework on him and potentially even considering him as early as 11. That said, I don't think Miami should spend that kind of high of a premium pick on on a developmental quarterback in this draft. Saving that type of investment for a stronger quarterback class next year makes a lot more sense. Stylistically, though, Simpson is a clean scheme fit for the Dolphins. His processing, eye manipulation, and comfort in rhythm align well with Shanahan-style West Coast offense built on timing, quick game concepts, and play action. In the right scenario, he makes sense, just not at the price. Well, guys, if you enjoyed the breakdown, hit that like and subscribe button for more All-22 film, draft coverage, and Miami Dolphins coverage on the Fins Faithful podcast. Let me know in the comments, would you take Ty Simpson if you're the Dolphins or any needy team in the first round? Let me know. Thanks, guys, for watching. Until next time, stay Fins Faithful. We're out.